Hey guys, it's Barb again. Today was a pretty good day. Give me a second, I dropped some papers. Okay, those papers have been falling out of this book all day long. But in any event, today was a pretty good day. I took care of a city issue I had to deal with because we had some stuff backing up. Well, the toilet was starting to gurgle and stuff, so I needed them to come flush the line. So I took care of that earlier today, and I also, what else did I do? I made a few phone calls that I had to make. I had my PDG appointment. All that's out of the way, and now tonight I'm making the video. So I'm going to try do a format because I feel like my videos are like all over the place, so I want to try to do something that's different, a little more structured. So tonight I'm going to talk about how I work around my ADHD to accomplish things. And I also can add a little bit of helping, like yanking out my OCD skills to use it for something positive, which helps me get things done with cleaning. So today, the first thing is that's the topic, and then I going into the questions. So usually whenever I've got an issue that I'm facing, like, okay, I want to get this closet together to make this a cozy, cute little podcasting area, and it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take a long time, but I'll show you once I get it all cleaned and organized, then I'll show it to you. And then after I get that done, I'm planning on painting it, so I'll probably take vacation from work and try to paint this room because I got some paint for it already, so I'm all excited. But the questions that I ask myself about that project, so that's my project, and how am I, the questions I ask myself to figure out, how can I make this happen? Because just saying, oh, I need to do it, I need to do it, I need to do it, that was not getting anything done. And then the depression kicks in because you're not accomplishing anything. So I've been listening to motivational videos. So that's one of the things. Because the question I ask myself is, how can I stay on task and get this cleaning finished and get everything the way I want it? So the first thing was, since my ADHD takes me from room to room, and then I get sidetracked in each room and never accomplish. Well, I accomplish a little bit everywhere, but that doesn't really make me feel like, oh, I look at what I've done. You know what I'm saying? So I choose to figure out, okay, so obviously I run out of steam for the cleaning and straightening and doing fun things like projects like this. I lose steam for it when I start to not be able to see any results. So I have to figure out, what can I do to stay on task? So the first thing is make lists. My OCD loves a good list. And it's also one of the things they recommend people who have ADHD and they're having a hard time getting things done and getting accomplished. So it starts with making lists. I make lists of the things that I need to accomplish. I find that a lot of times people, myself included, but my family and specifically who I'm talking about, my family and friends, they'll have okay, I want this. This is their goal. They would like to have this accomplished in their life. They want to do this. This is their outcome. And then there's no action. And I do the same thing. And it's I think it's because we look at it and say oh my gosh, I've got to make it to the top of this mountain. It's going to be so much work. It's going to be so much that I have to do. And then just the thought of that makes the procrastination begin. Well, maybe I'm just I don't feel like doing all that. It's too big. It's almost like we're imagining how we're going to get from where we are to the top of the mountain instantly. And we have to I tell myself all the time, it is not going to be instant. It didn't instantly get cluttered and all of that. It took time of okay, first I moved in here and I brought a bunch of stuff from my old place and I put it in the closet. And if it wasn't something I needed immediately, I didn't unpack it. So it's still boxed up in here. And then other things are okay, I bought pots and pans and things like that. But they're not going to be pots and pans I use now. They were good deals. So I bought them so that when I move into my house that I plan to purchase, then I'll be able to use them there. So it's things that I bought that I don't need to use right now. Now, decluttering, I'm working on that because do I need to have it now if I'm not going to use it now? Because that's just extra stuff. But I'll figure all that out while I'm going along with the decluttering. But I also decided that since I tend to find things wherever I'm cleaning that belong somewhere else, instead of going to those rooms, I just bought bins to put everything in so that I can say, okay, well, this bin will be for things that belong in like the bedrooms, you know, other like the other bedroom, or this belongs downstairs in the kitchen, or this goes into the bathroom. Like, I have a bunch of shampoo bottles up here that somebody gave me, and I brought them up here and put them in my closet because at the time, I was sharing the linen closet and there was no room on my shelf for it. So I brought it up here, and now that the linen closet is like completely for me, I can put those down there. So, but instead of going down and doing it and then getting distracted, I have a basket to put them in so that when I go to, you know, when I'm finished my time that I have allotted for me to clean, then I will be able to go down and handle that then, or whenever the next time I schedule to do that would be. But block scheduling is something that's very useful for me because I will literally block schedule my entire day. Like, even, okay, I like to hit the snooze and stay in there for 15 minutes. Sometimes I say it's for me to pray, but sometimes I fall back to sleep, honestly. But then I have to pray again later, but that's fine. I make up for it later. But at the end of the day, I usually need that 15 minutes. I'm a nocturnal person, so getting up in the morning early, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, that's just like hard for me because I didn't go to sleep till very late because I couldn't sleep. But yeah, so getting the bins, making the lists, setting a timer. Like, I'll say, okay, this is how much time I want to spend on this. So I will put it into my schedule, my block schedule, and I'll say, okay, so I'm going to clean for 1 hour in my closet. And then I schedule the next thing. So when the timer goes off, I'm done. And I think having the timer set, I also know, like, I only have an hour and I really want to see this get done. So, you know, I think that also, like, helps me. And I end up getting more done than I expected in that hour. So it's actually a good thing. I overestimate how long I think it's going to take me because it seems like it's going to take forever. So I'll say, okay, but see, that's where I get overwhelmed. So I just say, okay, well, I'm going to clean for an hour and whatever gets done, gets done. But I also am trying to get as much done as possible in the hour. So I'm very happy to use the baskets and put the things in. That's the OCD kicking in. I will also meditate on why I want this. Like, why is it that I want to tackle this project? And then I will meditate on that, and then I will remember all the reasons that it's important to me. And then after that, I will actually, like, close my eyes and, like, visualize, like, oh, my lip got caught. I've been picking my lips, so it's kind of swollen, so I can cut all my teeth. But basically, I like to also, like, visualize the outcome. Like, what do I think it's going to look like with the desired, because that also builds the excitement, which then builds the passion and the drive and the motivation to do it. And I also listen to motivational videos. So those are, like, just some of the tactics I use. I know, like, my OCD, everybody thinks, like, oh my God. I don't do, like, the chronic hand washing. I mean, I do wash my hands. I can't have anything on my hands. A littlest bit of sticky and I can't focus on anything else but but getting that off my hands. So basically, I feel like when I go to work, I'm OCD about everything. Like, when I was working at Dollar Tree a long time ago, I went, and it was my job to do recovery. So I was supposed to put away all the things that customers left laying around the store or left at the registers or what have you. And it was my job to put that stuff back. Now, their process is the supervisor or manager that's closing, or when I was working, because I worked till close. So when the manager that was closing, her job was supposed to be going through and, like what do they call it? They called it something. It wasn't disinfectant, but it was something like that. It's where they go through every aisle and they find things that are out of place or empty packages because somebody stole something or what have you. And they would go and their job was to clean up. But with me being OCD, if I'm going to walk down the aisle and put everything back, everything in this one aisle, as I'm putting things back, I'm going to see things that don't belong, and it's going to drive me crazy. So I'm going to put them in the cart and put those away as well. So I was probably, the manager loved it when I was on recovery because I didn't miss anything. Like, one time she used to set up the lady before me. She would basically say, like, oh, well, when I did recovery, because I wanted to try it. I was hired as a cashier. So when I decided I wanted to do that, she said, because I had plantar fasciitis at the time, so standing in one place hurt my feet way more than walking around the store. So I asked if I could do the recovery, and so I was putting everything away, and as I was going, I was cleaning up. And so she said, I think she thought it took me longer in the aisle than I needed to be to put the things back. And I said, well, that's because there were so many things down there that didn't belong. And she was like, well, that's the manager's job. And I said, well, that's silly. That it's silly for me to go through every aisle and then for her to go through every aisle. I said, it makes more sense for me to just make my way through the store cleaning as I go. And she was like, you cleaned while you went? And I said, yeah. And so she went and she said, let's go down here and look. Because apparently she had hid something in the chemical aisle because she didn't think that somebody was actually cleaning it up. I guess she thought the managers were just leaving the stuff there. And she's like, this has been here for 3 weeks. And we go back there and she's like, it's gone. Did you take that? And I said, yeah, she had some kind of, I don't know, it was a figurine that didn't belong. And I was like, yeah, it didn't belong. And I took it and put it back. And so she was like, oh, so I said to her, I would prefer if the manager only did the seasonal and the party aisle, those 2 aisles at the other side of the store, because it does take me longer to get down the aisle because I'm cleaning as I go and I'm putting everything back, but I'm also putting everything back that I find in each of these aisles back where they belong too. So I was able to work my way like 2/3 of the way through the store, and I only needed the manager to do those 2 aisles. And I said, if she can put everything back while she cleans those 2 aisles, then I have got the other 4. So that's kind of how it went down. But yeah, OCD, like, I've learned that I have a bunch of disorders, and I've been over them before. I have ADHD, PTSD, panic anxiety disorder, OCD, and depression, bipolar. Everything is crazy. But at the end of the day, I choose, like, I know this is who I am. I have this problem. So I look for solutions as to how is this disorder keeping me from my goals, like completing my goals. And if I ask myself questions like that, I'm able to figure out like ways, like the bins, instead of me leaving the room, as long as I have a place to put these things in an organized fashion so that later I can just take the basket down and put the shampoos in the closet cabinet, the linen closet or whatever. It's saving me time, it's helping me organize, and it's letting me see progress faster. So I'm hoping this video helped you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. Please give me a thumbs up and a like, please. I appreciate that. And if you think anybody else can benefit from this, please share it. Because the whole purpose for me doing this whole podcast thing is to help other people with the crap that I had to learn the hard way. So if somebody's struggling with something, with their OCD, or they're struggling with their ADHD, maybe this could help. But until next time, which will be Wednesday,